Okay, so I just got out of the gym and it was one of those workouts, and I'm sure some of you guys can relate, where you're going through such a unfolding in your life that you just kind of feel like you're in the gym, but you're out of your body and you're pushing and giving everything that you can, but it just feels like a shitty workout. That's the best way I can describe it. And so I wanted to make this particular video because talking to you guys is giving me a reason to see myself a little bit better than what I used to see myself, in terms of like, I'm just gonna put this out there. If people see it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. But this is just a way for me to show you that being a human being, managing your emotions, it's tough. I know a lot of people watching this have different perspectives, and solutions are great, results are great, but really just my whole content is not just giving solutions, but making it okay for you to feel those things in a world where you quick fix everything, you biohack everything. Emotions is one of those things that you don't think it through, you feel it. And that's what healing is. Healing isn't just like oh, I'm gonna work out, wake up early and do this X, Y, and Z. Healing is, why am I crying every other hour at work? It's not a big deal. People tell me to move on, but it just feels so heavy. So this video is particularly for those who have betrayed themselves and manifested betrayal in different forms, not just in financials, but also relationship, family as well. And so it wasn't really till today that I uncovered a really deep daddy issue, and that was me understanding that, like, oh, like, for example, my first ever relationship, right? I could never understand why it was so good and then it wasn't. And then I was like, I'm the type of person, like, I want someone to choose me, to see me, to see me as their wife, and I had so much confident issues. Until this day, I'm still working. I wanted someone to treasure me the way that, if you've ever seen, I guess you can say, like, Lord of the Rings, the way Samwise Gamgee treasures Frodo, protecting him like as if his life depended on it, and because Gandalf said so, but because he wanted to, like, from a place of, I really want someone to choose me from a place of choosing, not feeling like they need to until they don't need you anymore, right? And this is a video about it. If you feel like you're going through a turmoil and you've experienced someone not choosing you, and particularly for those that have like daddy issues, mommy issues, this is just my personal experience. Don't take this to heart. Seek a professional help, but this is how I was able to process. So I was deep into meditation, and I sometimes meditate to Shaman Durek, I meditate to Michael Beckwith, or I meditate to Chantress Seba, one of her frequency musics. I think it's called Ra Haset. And I just allow it to play, and I allow the spirit of Jesus Christ, or whoever you believe, to come into my being and show me what I'm not seeing, because we're always blindsided by things because we're emotional, right? We want things to piece together, we want things to happen, and they don't. So I come to the conclusion that my dad's dad died of thyroid cancer, and so thyroid issues has definitely been very prevalent in on my dad's side, and anger, alcohol, and all that has been prevalent on my mom's side, but my mom was never an alcoholic. So again, my dad's dad died of thyroid cancer, and my dad's grandfather, somebody ratted him out, so he was assassinated, you could say. And so my dad grew up without a real father figure, right? Because his dad didn't. And so me seeking these relationships, I'm like, I'm trying so hard, I'm reading all these books, what am I not seeing? I'm watching these podcasts. Spirit told me the reason why you struggle with men not wanting to choose you is because it had nothing to do with you. This was an ancestral thing. Your father just did not demonstrate what it felt like for a little girl to be chosen, because he didn't know what that was. So forgive them, for they know not what they do, and forgive yourself for putting in situations like that. So I made a vow that until I meet my husband and until I see a ring on my finger, I'm gonna be abstinent. I'm just gonna be in this journey when Source has a husband for me, when God has a husband, it will reveal itself. But I realized, okay, well, if my father wasn't chosen, because remember, he was a temple boy when he was 5, so he spent 20 years in monkhood, no like really abstinent, nothing. My mom was his first real relationship. And so my dad was a real trooper, right? He was deep into spirituality, he was deep into self-development, and he was my inspiration. So if my father had not been chosen by his father and this generation repeated, no wonder why I'm feeling these things, because what, we're made in the image of God, and if God is all of us and inside of us, and we're made in the image of God, our parents are in a certain way come from us, right? We're from them, then we have that DNA, that trauma. And so I was like, okay, so if my father didn't know how to choose himself because he wasn't shown, let me take the next couple years until God blessed me with a husband and a marriage and a family to choose myself. And it took about 3 relationships for me to realize, no more running away, no more trying to distract myself by going on dates. And of course, if you want to do that and explore your world, that's fine. But I have so much faith in spirit. The spirit will bring me my husband. And I realized I've had enough of this exhausting journey of emotional turbulence. Like, let me just breathe. Let me just let me just focus on me. Let me show myself how I can choose myself, how I can place myself first in terms of, let's break this generational curse. You might be a woman, you might be a man going through this, but everyone has, quote unquote, a disability, a disadvantage to where they don't recognize the flaw in their lives. And we don't wake up conscious until we either grow in denial or we grow in awareness. So for me, I could have sat there and reflected years on back, but these experiences, these darknesses needed to be brought out so I can see the light within myself. And it was really hard because I was so used to people pleasing, validation. I would do anything if you would stay type of girl. You know, I used to write love letters, and I used to be this big bubbly girl, you know, all flowers and stuff. And then over the years, I've just closed my heart. And now my heart is just in a point where it wants to feel, it wants to heal. And me being in relationships back to back is just not going to help. Let me heal this. Let me love this part of myself that I'd run away from for so long. And I cried for the past, really like Valentine's Day, the day before Valentine's Day, and there's really this whole weekend, and even today, the crying that I've experienced is like no other. I stared at a wall and I started like almost throwing up a little bit, right? And I was just, this type of cry is it's an ancestral, deep, ancient cry, a cry where a mother loses her child, a cry where a father cannot protect his family and recognizes the shame, the guilt, and like the arrogance, the ignorance, the ugliness, like the cry of like vulnerability. That was what was happening the past couple of days. I just wanted to sleep. I just wanted to eat my emotions, and I let myself do that because I was like, let me just not judge myself one last time. Let me just really feel this, because I can't continue to run away from something. Because remember, whatever you don't come into conclusions with, it manifests in your life. So like, for example, same spirit, different body. If you've not healed the issue or the trauma, it'll manifest in certain people. You'll attract certain situations. An example would be, I attracted men that had pornography issues, and I attract all of them, different races, by the way. I attracted men that had daddy issues, and mommy issues. I attracted men that didn't really have the best relationships with themselves or other people, and I attracted men that were so far from God on that journey to God. And so do you see what I'm talking about? It's like, I am who I attract, right? And if I don't heal this and I attract a man, I end up being pregnant, my daughter is gonna go through this in the future, and I cannot have that. I cannot have that. So let me sit with myself for the next couple years and say no to the distractions in life. And when I truly feel and trust myself, then my husband will come, then the marriage will come. And a lot of us want the ideal wedding, we want the ring, but it's even harder to sit with yourself prior behind the veil, okay? And really heal yourself and really be honest with yourself. And literally it was 10:10 just right now. So I'm on the right path. And it's really liberating thing, because for the first time I woke up and my skin was glowing. And I didn't realize, like, your skin is a reflection of your soul in some way, shape, or form. Not all the time, but my skin, it wasn't bad, but like this glow that I felt was a spiritual glow of this heaviness, this stress, this anxiety, this self-worth. It consumes us, it shows us no matter how much makeup we put on. And so I was like, wow, I look at myself, I am so beautiful. Like, my skin was just radiating and glowing, even though I had felt most of these emotions that I'd run away from. I understood why God needed me to break away from people. And I realized, if love was real, if love between two people exists and you are to let it go, if it is love, it'll come back. Maybe it'll be 6 months, 3 months, a couple years, whatever that is. I was so caught up in, oh my God, I need to find a husband, I need to find a relationship. I'm only 23. I keep forgetting that I'm only 23. I still got a purpose, which is helping you guys, liberating you guys, giving power back to you, and helping you understand that it's okay to be a human being. Screw the productivity results. Your results will naturally come when you understand who you are, what you want, what you don't want. And I just cannot say this enough, is I'm just gonna start recording videos. I'm gonna just constantly be on my game, because I'm thinking this is normal. I'm thinking everyone goes through this, but making this video helps me talk it out. But at the same time, I know it's going to help you guys realize whatever you're going through, you're powerful because of it, and you are not alone. And that mental wellness is a real thing. Again, to wrap this up, look at the relationships that you have around you, the dynamic between your mother and your father. Ask the spirit of, I'm connected to the spirit of Jesus Christ. I ask the spirit of Jesus Christ, show me what I'm not seeing. And the hardest part is trusting our intuition, because sometimes there are bad spirits that try to lead you to that. So go to a mentor that you trust. Research about it. Trust your intuition. Seek help, whatever you need to find the answer to bring you peace into your life, right? Seek professional help. And for me, I was always guided by my angels and my ancestors and my spiritual team. So I have a natural spiritual connection. But some of us, we're just now on this journey to establish that. And that's okay. That is absolutely okay. I was never like this before. And I want to tell you that even if you show up to work and you feel alone, even if you go home and you feel alone, even if you go to the gym and you feel alone, you are sitting with yourself, and you can feel it, the disgustingness, the oh my God, why can't I get better? I'm trying so hard. What am I not knowing? I should just give up. The world is falling apart, right? Like, that's why I am encouraging you guys to build a great relationship with yourself. Only truly then can you build a great relationship with your potential partner in the future, the friendships, the business partners. So please, please, please take yourself seriously. I've met so many people that make money, that have a great body, that hustle, and they have the most terrible relationships with themselves. And I attracted them because I was in that frequency. And once you fully understand, take ownership, and recognize that, oh my God, I'm literally what I attract. How can I undo this? That's where the real journey begins. That's where you find your power. And I recommend choosing one book, any book that you relate to, right? Go to Barnes and Noble, go to Audible, go to YouTube. They always have great things. So the journey of personal development comes from a place of wanting to actually be honest and heal and grow. And healing and growing comes first for those that have been raised in a traumatic environment. Okay, continue to do your work, continue to take ownership, you know, build that business, whatever it is. But if you neglect that part of yourself, you will continue to see it manifest until it breaks you enough or it hardens you up. An analogy like I always talk about is the egg, the carrot, and the potato, right? Life is like that boiling pot of water. Are you going to harden? Are you going to become mushy? Or are you going to soften? I choose to soften. And the reason why I chose that route, coming from a really traumatic experience, is like, if I want a husband, a relationship, my girlfriends, femininity, the softness, the nurturing, the surrendering, the receiving, it is such a crucial part. And I don't care if I'm not the muscle mommy girl anymore. I used to be, because it was a defense mechanism for me. But now I don't care if I don't look big. I don't care if I don't lift heavy weights. I'm just here for wellness. And so this journey of healing my daddy issues, healing myself, has not only changed myself, it changed my body, my mind, it changed the way that I work out. Conda had a very masculine mindset because she hadn't healed it. So guess what she did? This is just my experience. I worked my ass off to get the body that I want. I ate like crap, but I had a great body. I felt like crap. And Conde introducing the femininity. Her skin is glowing, right? Her body is looking better than it's ever been. She's feeling great. She's feeling tapped in. She's feeling grounded and in tune. And so it does make a difference. And it is a solo journey. But you will find other people just like you. And today at work, I couldn't help but just feel so sad. Not because I feel alone, that also is a part of it, but because I recognize, like, how much more do I have to go, right? Like, when will it stop? I'm so tired. And God is just like, keep pushing through. You're almost there. You're doing so great. You're healing your heart. And I realize, like, I can't, this is a part you can't escape. The waiting, the anticipation, where it's so easy for us to distract ourselves from this emotion. I realize I've distracted myself, and I'm glad I caught myself at 23 before I turned 24. Because imagine if I went and I'm like 40 years old, I'm divorced, I have like 3 different husbands, and because I ran away from that emotion. One emotion, right? Emotion becomes a temperament, right? And it becomes your personality. Have you ever met like someone so bitter? Like, they gossip all the time, you just don't want to be around them. They were never truly like that in the beginning. But because they hadn't dealt with their emotions, their trauma, been honest with themselves, and done the healing work, that's who they are now. And the hardest part is unraveling and rewiring your mind. And I'm not sure where the road takes me, but I believe something wonderful will happen now. I believe something wonderful will happen tomorrow. I believe something wonderful happened today. And in today, I finally felt like I was in the moment. How many other moments have I missed because I didn't feel what I felt, running away from something that doesn't even exist? That is my message, is let yourself break, let yourself restore, let yourself cry, let yourself fall asleep for a week, for 2 weeks. The hard work is over. It's time to rest and relax and restructure and rebuild. And it's time to be open-minded to different ways of life, of living, of thinking, because the idea of arrogance just doesn't serve anymore. And there's no need to protect yourself from God. I love you guys so much. I hope this video helps you to see that you're more powerful than you can ever imagine, that you can take that emotion and utilize it to become the very superhero of your own story. I love you guys. Like I always say, be fruitful, go forth, and multiply Christ consciousness.